So welcome to 2023. A lot of people have been wondering what is happening in the property market. We always hear the doom and gloom about the prices falling in Melbourne and Sydney, but Perth, it is not the same. We are maintaining the prices that we made over the boom of the post-COVID years. And the reason that Perth is doing that is because we still have ultra low supply, ultra high demand. We still have people finding it really hard to get rentals, so that they're looking at buying instead. It's just the exact, we don't have high unemployment, we have really low unemployment, we have lots and lots of job vacancies. Our market is really strong for maintaining housing prices. Interest rate rises are going to affect us, however, eventually, if they keep going up. And the first place we'll probably be seeing it is in the high-end market of post, 2 million and so on, because those people are going to have a much, much higher repayment on their properties, and it will actually interfere with borrowing capacity and so on. Now, it's true for all levels, but there's just less people already spending at that level, so that if they get flushed out of the market, there's no one there just to replace them, whereas people getting flushed out of the $1 million market, well, they're coming down from above. So we still sort of have people in those markets. The housing market looks like it's going to, the forecast is a growth of 2 to 5% over the next year across the board in Perth. And it really should be there with migration and so on. The biggest problem is just selling. So is it a good time to sell? I'm telling you now, if you need to sell for whatever reason, it's a good time to sell. If you have a rental property that you don't want anymore, maybe it's rented out and you don't feel that it's actually going to help you cover the mortgage for whatever reason, this is a great time to sell a rental property. It doesn't affect you and where you live, but you should make a really good profit on it, depending on, what you paid and when you bought it, should still be really good. Rental properties are a good thing to sell. If you are an older person, one of our older members, and you're looking at going into a retirement village or a lifestyle village or something like that and selling the family home, this is perfect timing for you, because you will really make the most you can out of your property, and you're going to go and live in a lifestyle village, and you'll have plenty of money to live off, hopefully. So it's a really good time for those people, for anyone in that situation, to seriously consider selling. Now, whether or not you're in a good position to sell, or you're selling because you have to through, divorce or something like that, it's still really important to maximize the potential of your property and get the best possible price. A lot of people are just hearing good price and then they're just selling. Whereas, with a slightly more effort, they could make a great price. And I hear about it all the time. I sold my property in 2 days or 3 days, and it's not always the best way to sell a property. So that's kind of basically how the market is feeling. It's still quite good, quite strong here in Perth, and the predictions are that it will stay strong. But if those interest rates continue to go up and they get up to around 3.8%, it's going to start getting a lot tighter. So make the most of today, because we only know what's happening right now. We don't know what's happening in the future. As you can tell, in 2020, who knew we were going to have a world pandemic and be locked in our houses for days and days and days on end? Nobody predicted that. Well, actually, a few people predicted it would happen if we had a pandemic, but they didn't actually predict that there would be a pandemic. So, things can change in a moment. If this market is a market that is where it's time for you to sell, then sell in Perth. Right now, it's still a really strong market.